What's up, otakus? It's your tour guide here. Um, I've gotten to the point now. Um, it's been I want to say about 3 weeks, going on 3 weeks now. Um, yeah, no, let's see, one. Yeah, it's going on 3 weeks since my family's been gone. Um, and I miss them, you know, but we've been trying to stay busy and you know I picked up a lot of stuff this week. Um, so I do have to again. I have a good budget saved up for the Vancouver Comic Con, where I'm anticipating I'm pick up a lot of value. Also, the trip, with the exchange rate being what it is in Canadian dollars, I definitely want to like take some cash with me, and yeah, I'm just hoping to pick up like a bunch of Canadian variants and stuff. Just having fun up there. But it'll definitely be like we're gonna get there first thing, crack of dawn in the morning, and be there till it ends. And we're just gonna hunt, hunt, hunt. I'm gonna set aside some money to pick up some big books, some targeted books, and we can I guess go over that what I'm targeting. There's just so much stuff I'm targeting right now. It's hard to keep track. Also, we bought a bunch of stuff online. I must have spent about $100, actually over $100, about $140 online. So those will be coming in. Those will be trickling in. Um, they're all kind of arriving either over this weekend or by Monday or Tuesday of next week. So I'm gonna try to reveal as much stuff as they come. So they'll probably be like short little mail call videos. But we've got some really good stuff coming. And shout out to Craven Hunt's Comics. He hooked us up with one of the orders. He has yet to ship it. I think he said he's going to ship it Saturday, but um, that'll probably be the last thing we get. So I'll unbox that when we get that. But a lot of good things coming. So, but we spent a lot of money too. But I feel like we got good value out of everything we spent online. Um, but we'll just have to see. They're definitely like all books that um, that have been on our radar, and a couple of books that I already have, but these are sort of like better, I guess, copies. But we'll go over that again. Those videos are coming. Um, they're on their way. They're at various points in the post office route. So when we get those, we'll get those. All right. I also picked up a bunch of like reading material from the library. Got a bunch of graphic novels. Finished this. I actually finished these ones. I finished this one too, Daredevil. But we've got this huge like Wonder Woman George Perez omnibus that is we started, but we'll see how far we get. We also got this War of the Gods, Dan Moore World's Finest. Reading this again, the Stephen King Dark Tower. This is essentially sort of the origin into what is it? I think the book is called the Rose. oh, I forget the title of the book. It's like book 4 or 5, I think, in the Dark Tower series. Essentially, it's um, you know, they flash back to how Roland's first love uh, meets her demise, um, and how sort of their first, the quartet's first uh, adventure or test. And that's what this, it covers that Wizard in the Glass. I think that's what the book was called. Wizard. It covers the events of Wizard in the Glass, um, and it illustrates it, and kind of it's its own, like, story. Um, but there's like overlap between what's in the novel and what's in this comic book. But it pretty much covers those events. This one goes into a little bit more detail um, with how Roland becomes a gunslinger, and then how he, again, that first adventure that really, kind of makes the boys into men. But they have success, but it comes at a price. So a lot of good like reads here, and I did want to bring your attention to, this is a book I also checked out, and this is DC cover art, 350 of the greatest covers in DC's history. It is quite it's a very extensive look at DC's history. First off, like, you get things like Action Comics, you get all the great artists. For example, you get like Vincent Sullivan, who did Detective Comics #1. You get, of course, Bob Kane, who did the art for Detective Comics, the first appearance of Batman. But there are just so many great cover artwork in this book. I'm just going to kind of flip through it so you can see, but it covers like the Golden Age, the Silver Age, and it's just chock full of like goodness, like Carmen Infantino. You've got what was that? Mike Sikowski. Got some Neil Adams peppered here and there. Just a really extensive look at kind of, again, obviously this is in the view of the editorial people who wrote this book. It was let me see here. Written by Nick Jones. So Nick Jones is sort of the editorial eye of all these. I'm sure he consulted with a lot of people at DC who just, they probably had a process like, these are the books that should be featured in this book. And it really is like, here's some stuff from my collecting era. We got Mike Mignola here. We've got David Mazzucchelli here. We've got Jim Lee, of course. We've even got Kelly Jones. But anyway, there was a section here that on Brian Bolland that, again, like cover art like that. This is right now at Mill Geek for I think $40, and I definitely want it, but I'm hoping I can run into it, like in a dollar bin somewhere or something. But that is just a great Joker cover. But this opened my eyes to these great covers here by Bolland, and I was just like, man, I didn't even realize he did it like opened up this whole can of worms because he did a huge run on Batman Gotham Knights in 2010, I believe. What is this? Sorry, 2002, 2000 through 2003. And I was like, man, that is just I got to pick this up. Like it's now on my radar. Obviously these great John Byrne covers, just a lot of goodness. Alex Ross there, Ed McGuinness, so Ball and Wonder Woman there, like, and George Perez. So it got me to, hey, what's up, Luke? Thanks for popping in again. It got me thinking about, I'm at a point where I've gone over my storage capacity with books. And I'm in a territory where, like, okay, where is the end game? I questioned, where is this collection going? And it's a question I posed to a live stream that Trev was on with, like a panel. Shout out to Trev, the collecting guru. Trev was on a panel with, I'm forgetting their names. They're not normally people I follow, but it was a great panel. They were just having fun and talking about comic books and things that were going on in popular culture. And I posed a question to the panel. I said, there's like 6 people there talking about comic books. And I said, what are each of your, individual end goals? Like, what would you consider, like, if I meet this goal, I could just kind of stop collecting comic books and be content that my collection's complete. And that could be like a Grail book, that could be like a set of books. But like everybody has to have some like collecting goals, and I just feel like there needs to be like an end point. Maybe not, but I just posed the question, and literally all of them answered the same thing. There's no end game to this. You just collect till you feel like you don't want to collect anymore. And that's a good answer, but for me, I was like, that's not how I view it. But more and more I'm finding like, well, when do I say enough is enough? When do I stop? And I have more things that I want in the collection than I actually have space and room for. And when I frame it like that, I really have to dial down what it is I collect or what it is I want to collect. And what this book helped me realize was, you know what? I'm just going to come out and say I'm a cover collector. I collect pieces of artwork that convey the story, but it's really about the cover art. Like, I have a bunch of like key books and stuff that don't have great cover art. I also have just books from things I read or runs that I just kind of like, the X-Men run. There's just a bunch of people, like artists and different stories there that I kind of am collecting, but at the end of the day, it's not central to like who I am as a collector. So it's kind of liberating to come to that conclusion, like being honest with yourself. This is who I am as a collector, and embracing it, and really kind of like now formulating your collection to be that. So I'm kind of giving myself not a lot of room. I'm basically, what I'm gonna do, I think I may actually reach my collecting goal. I think I'm going to set my Jim Lee book target at 400 books. And I'm also going to set the actual volume of my collection. I just got this from Milheat Comics. It's something I've been thinking about getting, but like a short box. I really like this, actually. I was hoping to get like something Superman theme or X-Men 1 themed. They didn't have any of that. But yeah, I've expanded the breadth of my collection, but it has an endpoint. So once I fill up this box, because I should say I've actually created more space. Like a true junkie, I have to like find ways to get more juice into my system. So I've put a lot of the my slabs, my homemade slabs. I put them in here to create space in my excuse me, to create space in my my filing cabinet. So now I have more space in the filing cabinet for big books, which we picked up a couple big books today. And hopefully that's gonna kind of fill out. So I've got like about 2 drawers that have, deflated in terms of the space, so we can add books there. And then again, I've got this book. I've still got some space in here. I've still got some space in my overflow box. So all in all, like, I think space-wise, we're going to be able to get through this summer without issue. The key question is what my collection is going to look like at the end of this year, heading into next summer. And I'm just thinking that can fill up real quick. But what I'm liking about my approach to collecting now is I'm picking up stuff really that's like, I feel like these are all like PC books. These are all like kind of where I am as a collector, and I'm just super focused, especially this haul, and a lot of the stuff I'm picking up online also is super focused. So all of that being said, I feel like I'm making like good progress, and the collection is growing in the direction we want it to grow. And it's just, yeah, it's been fun, especially this haul here. We'll get into what we picked up and where we went. All right, so before we get into what I picked up, I just want to give a shout out to Bronze Age, silver-haired Bronze Age babe. There were a couple of books that, in the books that I got from her, there were a couple of books that she didn't include. So we communicated and she sent them. These are really sort of low grade books. This is kind of like borderline low grade. Well, it is low grade. It's just kind of chewed up here at the end, but the rest of the book presents really nice. But there's like, I don't know what happened there. Somebody like gnawed at it or something. But yeah, these are covers that are detached. Action Comics 248. That's a really nice book. We have the first appearance of the red and green Kryptonite. Nice Brainiac cover there. I'm going to say late Silver Age. Action Comics 275. This is also, you can see, here's the book. This is just the cover there. And she threw in this book as a bonus, Action Comics 344. Again, low grade, but this one presents a little better. The cover's attached still, a little better than the coverless ones. These coverless ones, they're the page quality is not good. It's so brittle. In fact, I'm afraid to even like pick them up because these little flecks of the like pages, especially the cover, it's like you can see it. They fleck off. You know, it's so brittle that the pieces fleck off, and so little pieces of the cover keep falling off. And so I'm just gonna, yeah, these are still part of my collection, but you know, we don't want to handle them or take them out too much. So we got, again, Action Comics 248, 275, and 344. Great pieces. Just part of my overall Action Comics collection now. All right, let's get into the haul now. We hit up 2 spots today. And they're kind of far apart from each other. The first place we went to is this antique collectibles store out in like Maple Valley, which is not that far. It's just about, I want to say it's about 10 miles off of 405 going east. I've actually never been there, but I knew they had comics and I knew they had a lot of other stuff. I wish I'd taken some video. It is a very unique shop. They focus on everything, like toys, coins, and like every collectible you can imagine. And apparently they're like the comic books, what they actually display is just a small fraction of the inventory they have upstairs. But yeah, we were digging in those boxes and there were probably, I want to say there were about, like 14 short boxes of comics and, a stack of comics that were priced out, like on a magazine rack. And then they had some slabs. And a lot of their stuff was priced, but a lot of their stuff wasn't priced. So it was unclear what they were going to charge. But the guy's like, just bring a stack of books up, I'll price it, and we'll go from there. And so I pretty much just picked up everything I wanted. And brought it up, and it was a good stack. But a lot of the books I thought were dollar books. They were like, we're charging $2 for. A lot of this stuff he was looking up on eBay as he was like going through it and kind of putting it at like an eBay price on it. And then his intention was to like drop it to 50%, but still an eBay 50% of eBay price isn't necessarily like accurate. But anyway, we were able to get some books there, and I don't have it. I have it partitioned by artists, so we'll just go over what we paid at that. We paid 6 books. Sorry, we paid $35 for 6 books, and we'll go over what those books are. But 3 of them are very like key additions to my collection. So we spent about $35 there plus tax. It ended up being like, close to $40, which was good, which was all good. I feel like we got value from that, but I had to leave a lot of the other stuff there because he was pricing them out again, like more than we wanted to pay on a lot of them. So I left the majority of the stuff there. I negotiated and haggled on the stuff I really wanted, and I got him down. Because I went from this stack, and then he thought maybe this guy will pick it all up, and I was just like, no, I won't get this. And I just basically whittled it down. So, and then I made him an offer on the stack, and he accepted. So, well, he kind of escalated a little bit, but it was closer to what I wanted to pay. So $35 for $35 for 6 books there. And then we went up to Mill Geek because there was still a lot of good stuff in the 50-cent bins that we didn't really quite go through. And then I had all these like targeted books that I thought they might have it in there. And we were looking, and man, this is probably, I know I didn't put in the title, but this is probably the Unmyeong book of the haul, meaning a lot of the books I had in mind, we ended up coming out with at the end of the haul. And that just rarely happens. But yeah, this little stack here are all, I'm making them all books of the haul. All of these are Unmyeong books of the haul for the most part. So we're going to save that stack, and we'll start with sort of the less exciting, I guess, pickups. Most of these are 50 cents, but these are all still like absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to add this one too. I'm going to add this one to the books of the haul as well. All right. So I guess, how should we start this? I guess we'll start with Jim Lee and we'll end with Jim Lee. That's a good way to do it. All right. So I've been meaning, I could have picked this one up for 33 cents. I ran into it also. I could have picked it up for $1. But this was a pretty clean copy for 50 cents. So I just picked it up just to get it out of the way. This is part of a connecting cover with some other Team 1, like Stormwatch, Team 1 Wildcats, and I forget the other thing. But it's a Jim Lee connecting variant. I think this is the middle of a 3-part connecting series. And pretty cool cover there. Nothing too terribly exciting. Paid 50 cents for that, which is nice. This pretty much completes my Superman Unchained run. It's one we've been kind of wanting to pay around $1 for. This is part of that 6-book, $35 6-book haul. I'll say we paid about $1 for it. We paid about $1 for it. Superman Unchained number 4. This is also from that haul. I'll say we paid $1 for it. This is Superman 215, and this is actually one I haven't added to the collection yet. This completes my Jim Lee Superman Volume 2 Superman run, and this is the A cover for 215. I have the variant, and now it's the collection's complete, and they're all both, everything I've shown so far is high grade. These latter two are near mint copies, so that's really nice. Next we picked up, this was just a beautiful, again, great cover by. It's a Jerry Ordway cover. Or no, wait, it's a Grummett. It's an Ordway cover. And it's this Superman Christmas themed cover. You got this Santa here. Superman's standing behind him, interacting with the children. Nice little Christmas scene. Got Jimmy Olsen in the mix. Really nice Ordway cover there. 50 cents for that. 50 cents for this. This is apparently the first appearance of Lor Zod, who's the son of General Zod and Ursa. So it's a key book. Great Adam Kubert cover there. Action Comics 844. Key issue there. Pick that up for 50 cents. More Adam Kubert goodness. This is a newsstand copy of Wolverine 87. Just a sick Gambit and Wolverine cover there in the scope of a Target. And that is for 50 cents. That's gold. That is gold right there. Newsstand copy. High grade. We got a little bit of a, it's a minor crease on the corner. Yeah, like a fine minus. VF minus, if anything. This is near mint. This was a book we probably paid. I'm gonna say we paid $1 for it, or $2 for it, and that is Superman Batman number 13. Another beautiful Supergirl cover by Michael Turner. It's been on our list for a while. Just feels awesome to get that. And I just showed off those Batman Gotham Knights Ballin covers. Well, we found some of them. We found Batman Gotham Knights number 10. Great Catwoman and Nightwing cover there. Man, just Ballin goodness. So they had quite a few Ballin books, but some of them, the condition, some of them were sitting out raw, so the condition wasn't that great. These are actually all the better condition ones, so we picked them all, and they're the covers that were the most dynamic, in my opinion. Here's a great Scarecrow cover. Man, can Ballin do villains? Just absolutely, this is beautiful stuff right there. Yeah. And, we were hoping to run into Ballin, and we ran into Ballin, and boy, did we run into Ballin. Now we're getting into sort of these are the Unmyeong books of the haul, I guess. Unmyeong books. These are all the sort of classify as the books of the haul. There'll be actually, if we were to narrow it down to the book of the haul, I'm going to save that one for last. But these all are book of the haul worthy. We've got Batman Gotham Knights 24. Another incredible Ballin cover there. That is absolute goodness. This was in that history of cover art book as well. You got all these bats, and with Alfred with the dustpan. And that's my wife calling. I'll call her back in a minute. Pretty decent condition too. It's high grade, so just an amazing. Now this book we were able. So over at Mill Geek, I picked up about $5 worth of 50-cent books, like 10 books or so, 9 books, I think. And then I picked up this $8 book. And then I asked about the short box. So did I say I paid 16? So I picked for the whole haul with the box, I paid $60, 35 of which came from the collectible shop, and 20 which came from Mill Geek. Add the tax, 55, it's about 60. But the actual books, we only spent 50 because, again, I was able to negotiate roughly, 20 with 15 plus, 12? So about $27 worth of actual product. I was able to negotiate down to 20. So I got this for, I guess you could say I got it for $10. So, but we got 16 books for $50. That averages to about $3 and just a little, $3.12 per book. But as you can see, there's still a lot of value in this. But yeah, so this is an $8 book, but you can kind of technically, because I talked Mill Geek down from 27 to 20, this is technically like a $5 book, but we picked up Action Comics 600. This is sort of Byrne's last sort of milestone issue book on the Action Comics run. And this one, it's incredible because it's a book where John Byrne and George Perez are doing the artwork in this. So it's Byrne on pencils, Perez on inks, and you can imagine all the goodness going. Also, it features artwork by Anderson, John Beatty, Dick Giordano, Ken McGuire, Mike Mignola, Jerry Ordway, Kurt Schaffenberger, Walt Simonson, Kurt Swan, and Mike Zeck. So it's just a huge milestone issue here with 80-page giant with a lot of creators in it. But again, central, with especially this cover, you get Byrne and Perez collaboration there. So just a huge book, high grade. This is, it's high grade, but there's got a little issue there, a nick on the, but still, beautiful addition to the collection, and a book I've been targeting. This one is technically, I guess, so let me just, I guess I'll put this at like a $10 book. We essentially got this for $10. We got Wonder Woman 183. This is a Mike Sekowsky cover. It's also a key book. It's the first appearance of one of the goddesses. But yeah, I just really like this sort of era of Wonder Woman. And I was always careful not to get older, like Bronze Age Wonder Woman, because it would be a spiral that we didn't want to go down. But I'm kind of giving up these like completionist thoughts of like, if I start collecting that, I need to collect more of it and finish a run or something. No, this is just a great piece. And again, for $10 on this, it's what's essentially like a mid-grade presenting book. It's technically low grade because there's a bit of a staple tear there, but it presents like a mid-grade book. So I mean, we picked this up for a great deal. Again, this is part of that 6-book, $35 6-book haul from the antique store. So one of the 6 books we picked up there. I'm going to price it at about $10 in terms of what we paid, which is great. This one, I told you, we ran into it for like $4, and we were like almost on the, we had almost picked it up at Subspace Comics because we just never ran into it again. And then lo and behold, at Mill Geek, we start digging, we find it again. So I finally have this copy. I was just talking about it in my last 12 video, and now I have this amazing Jim Lee grifter cover from the Wildstorm in 2017. This is the variant cover, and how incredible is that? That is a keeper right there. Really high grade copy too. So yeah, I mean, I'm just so glad I went to Mill Geek today and dug, because we found all this, like, really just all this value and goodness targeted. These are like all Unmyeong books. These are books I had in mind that I wanted to pick up, top of mind, and we got them. We got this one finally. Just talked about this in my last video. I was wanting to find it. This one we also picked up for like $10, part of that 6-book $35 haul. And this is a $40 book. So this one book could have been paid for that $35 that we picked up. It's a $40 book, really high grade. I mean, this thing is like sharp. And it's the gold foil edition of Wildcats #1. So that is, I mean, this could have been the book of the haul too. But that's a great Jim Lee edition. All in all, we picked up 6 books, 6 Jim Lee books. The count is at 343 Jim Lee books. So we're slowly ticking down to 400, which is, we may stop at 400, we may stop at 500. I'm still debating, but at some point we have to put a cap on the Jim Lee collection. And I think it's going to be either 400 or 500. We'll see. If it's 500, then I have to devote this box to just Jim Lee books, and that's not fun. So we'll see. But we're we're close either way. We're more than halfway there, whether we end up at 400 or 500. I'm leaning toward 400 because I think that's just a good place to kind of end things. I know 500 is the cleaner number, but I just feel like that's too many books, but we'll see. All right, so the book of the haul. This one you could technically say we picked up for $10, but it's a big one. It's Batman Volume 2, number 2. This is a first appearance of Talon, and it's the Jim Lee variant. This one's a very low ratio variant, and I think it's priced at $50. Again, this book alone could have paid for the $35. This is one of the 6 books, but we picked up this one, and this one, along with 3 other books that are smaller books. But these are the big books. This one, again, books at 50. This one books at 40. This one in mid-grade books at around 30 as well. So, yeah, there's a good, over $100 worth of value. Over $100 worth of value that we picked up for $35 with 3 other books. So amazing haul. Plus the 20, plus the 10 books that we picked up for $20 from Mill Geek. The majority of the 9 books that we picked up for roughly $5 at 50 cents each, like this one. And then the $5 book, Action Comics 600, that we picked up for roughly $5. Plus this great graphic short box that we picked up for $10. So, they really Mill Geek really hit me up today. The collectibles store, I was able to, again, negotiate down to 30. The guy said, why don't we do 35? And that's when I threw the Wonder Woman book in and said, all right, if you want to do 35, add this book. And he did, which in my view, I got a pretty good deal out of that. So all in all, just a great. Yeah, Ralph S., it's hard to fight that completionist bug for sure. It's like right now I'm looking at my Fantastic Four. I've been wanting to complete the John Byrne Fantastic Four, but that's going to take time. It's going to take time because there are just certain books you just never run into. And then there are those, higher valued books. Like there's that Galactus cover in the Byrne Fantastic Four run. That's like a $50 book. And you always run into it for like $30 to $50. And that's the kind of the one you like, well, we'll get to it when we have money or budget and all that, but you never end up, you never end up throwing down the cash for that book, and then you never end up finishing those. But there's even like smaller books that I just never run into, that not for the price that I want. So I get kind of greedy. Like, I would rather pick up, if I'm trying to finish a run, I don't care about the grade necessarily. So I'm trying to pick up books that are lower grade and that are lower priced. But this summer's been full of like near mint. I mean, this one is absolutely beautifully near mint. So it's just, man, is this just is a huge Jim Lee edition. I never thought I'd get this book, to be honest, because we rarely run into it. And what this book goes for online on eBay is just like something um, we're not even trying to, we're not trying to like uh, pick it up for those prices. So we're not even entertaining the idea. But yeah, these like Ballin books, like again, these are just put on my radar with that cover art book, and lo and behold, like all the pieces from that book are essentially what we picked up. This I'm still got a couple more Action Comics to pick up in the John Byrne run, but we're slowly getting there. Just so much like like targeted good stuff, like all of this stuff. Um, this Adam Kubert, we really picked it up because an Action Comics key book. Also, it's an artist I like. So again, all of these pickups. This one is one we've been targeting, and to pick up again newsstand for 50 cents of this. That's just Adam Kubert goodness. This is actually the issue that precedes Wolverine 88, which is the first appearance of a first fight between, or the first meeting between Wolverine and Deadpool. Great Carzarel cover there with by Turner. Just so much goodness in this haul. It's been great. It's been really great. So let me kind of go over some of the stuff that's coming. I told you I spent about $140 online. $40 of that is on a new 20 top loaders, Silver Age top loaders from BCW, which, now that we have some budget, I've always been meaning to kind of add more top loaders, and I haven't gotten the Mylar and clear backing boards from Clear Comic Clear yet. They just had a sale that I was just like, man, that would have been great if we had. It was in June. I just didn't have money for it at the time, but I hope they have that sale again at some point sooner rather than later. But I'm sure I'll pick up clear backing boards and Mylar bags from there soon. If not 100, because the sale was 100 for 100. But it was a lower tier Mylar bags, but still, that's still a great deal. But now I'm going to just pick up 50, pay a little bit more, but just get 50 of them and start kind of rebalancing the collection into like, the higher end stuff in the top loaders and the high quality bags and boards, and then just starting to fill up this box with some of the, again, I'm going to put all the sort of what I would call the museum of, I'm going to put some criteria on what goes into this box, and we're going to make it has to be, for me, it has to be one of my favorite artists, and I've covered, my top 25 artists. It doesn't have to be a key book, but it has to be sort of what I would consider like a signature work by that artist. It also has to be a high grade. So there's a lot of like Neil Adams books that would probably have to go in this box, but don't make the cut because I want to reserve it for like at least fine and above, like fine plus on the older books. On modern books, VF plus and above. So we're just going to reserve the box for higher end stuff and just see what fills up. But I could probably fill it up now with what's in the collection and just modulate it. But yeah, we want to save that box for higher end books. And this is a great example. This would go in that box because it's just one of those books. I mean, come on. Pretty much a lot of the stuff that we picked up today, this gold foil edition is another great example of what would go in this book. It's just, great cover. This is definitely going in there. This can technically go in there. This is just so there's going to be a lot of Jim Lee stuff in there. A lot of Brian Bolland stuff in there. A lot of just, again, the artists that we like. I think this will probably go in there as well. But yeah, it's going to be a special, like, standalone part of the collection. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that's kind of in top loaders and stuff. That doesn't have to go in there. This is more of the raw stuff. Not the raw stuff. The ones that are just kind of bagged and boarded. I may move some of these into the nicer bags and boards, but for the most part, we're going to keep them kind of in the box, in bags, regular bags and boards, and just see what happens in terms of what fills up. So there you go. With that being said, we have, like I said, I got about $100 worth of additional books online. All of it is pretty focused in terms of what's going up into my collection. Some older books that are coming in, some signed books that are coming in. So stay tuned for that. Those are going to be coming out soon, probably in the next couple of days or so. A lot of them. One's in Seattle right now, about to get delivered probably tomorrow morning. So we'll unbox it as they come in. So I imagine 2 parcels may come in at once, or everything coming in a day at a time. But again, whatever we get, we will unbox that later that day. So stay tuned. I think one could come as early as tomorrow. And the last thing I wanted to focus on is we're going to talk some pop culture stuff because Disney dropped a bunch of video trailers. One for Agatha Harkness. It's a Disney Plus series. It seems like people are pretty excited about that. And the other one is Captain America. I forget what they're calling it. I think it's called Captain America, some kind of siege or something. But they revealed that Thunderbolt Ross is Red Hulk. So I think the character's being played by Harrison Ford this time around. It was John Hurt before, but Harrison Ford is filling the role, and he's going to be the Red Hulk. They revealed Red Hulk at the end of the trailer, and it's got the community really excited. And I don't mind. I have the book, so I'm going to write it out. That's not a book I'm going to get rid of either. So I'm hoping it's a super hit, and Red Hulk is just the thing that saves Marvel at the end of the day. Maybe how ironic would that be? Like a character that is not even technically a legacy character, like saving the franchise. At least the Feige franchise. That's cool. Superman's what's lovely to see is people not being toxic about the Superman movie. People are actually, I think, being very positive about the Superman movie. I'm on board as well. I think the suit looks great. Now that I'm seeing like production photos of the suit, it's actually a really nicely designed suit. It kind of combines classic with modern in a nice balanced way that appeases everybody. It looks like Corn Sweat and James Gunn have really put Christopher Reeve's performance as the gold standard for what you've got to bring to the table. And it looks like they're doing that with the vision. That I mean, he's really looks different as Clark Kent versus Superman. Like it's a just a visual. I'm sure it's going to be more pronounced when he actually like changes the tone of his voice when he's Clark versus Superman, and the mannerisms and all that. So it should be really exciting to watch on the big screen. That's the movie I'm most excited for, to be honest. As great as Deadpool, as great as all these other things are, the two things I'm looking forward to most is that Gunslinger television series. That's the thing I'm looking forward to first and foremost. And then, well, I should say Superman first and foremost, then the Gunslinger series. But yeah, the Superman movie, I am more excited than anxious now. I used to be like, well, we got to kind of wait and see. But from what James Gunn is showing us, I'm confident that it's going to be a great movie. And they're going to introduce a lot of DC characters, which I'm, like DC was used to go the route that, we have to define these characters and like give them the backstory and all this. No, sometimes you just have just introduce them. The comic book community knows who they are. For the mass market people that don't know, James Gunn's great at kind of giving a synopsis of the character, what they do and who they are, and through the context of scenes and the writing. So it's going to be fine. And what we've been introduced so far, like Mr. Terrific, there's sort of this like black noir looking Superman character. Lex Luthor's in it. There's the variable, the Brainiac may be in it. Still not confirmed, but it looks like there's going to be a lot of the Justice Society of America people team in it. So who knows? We may see like a Wonder Woman or they may tease Wonder Woman, they may tease Batman. We know Guy Gardner's in it. It's going to be a fun movie. So yeah, that's the thing I'm kind of most excited about. And then of course the thing that's sort of first and foremost on the timeline of movies is Deadpool versus Wolverine, or Deadpool and Wolverine. And there's all kinds of rumors swirling, but apparently like Patrick Stewart is going to reprise his role as Professor X, which means there could be a Magneto appearance as well. Laura Kinney is probably going to be part of the story. Dakin may be part of the story. I mean, it's basically this Deadpool Wolverine movie is what sets up the first MCU X-Men movie. So, and we know we're going to get a lot of the Fox X-Men in there. We know we're going to get a lot of like characters like the Fox Sabretooth. That's a big battle that's being kind of promoted through the trailer. It should be a very long and eventful movie with lots of cameos and teases, and I'm sure there's going to be a trailer at the end that's going to just get everybody super psyched for the X-Men. I'm going to put my 2 cents out there and say it's going to be a Cable. You're going to see a Cable reference in the final end credit cutscene, because Cable was what got people excited about the second movie. He was big in the second movie. Third, he's going to be in here, but I don't know. I think there's a possibility we'll see a new Cable, like, passing of the torch type Cable, and that passing of the torch type Cable is probably going to be the transition point for the X-Men, and we're probably going to see a more modern take. I'm not expecting to see like the Jim Lee 90s X-Men in the MCU. I think it'd be a mistake to go that route, because that's kind of like Fox already kind of covered it. It'd be nice to see that original team plus Alpha, like additional characters if they kept the core team there. But I imagine they're going to go really kind of where modern comic books are right now, and just start at like ground zero on like some of the modern mutants. I could see them doing that, but it remains to be seen what they actually do. So that's, I think, what's exciting a lot of people. Plus, we've got season 2 and 3 of the 90, X-Men, the animated series. That's continuing on. They just announced a new writer for season 3. The guy's like a movie script guy, so should be okay. Yeah, lots of fun stuff going on. And Alexa, lights on. It's just it's an exciting time to be. I think it's summer. Movies coming out. I'm having fun with just the collection right now. Another incredible pickup here, and I'm not satisfied ever, but because I understand I'm not satisfied, I have to at some point come to like an end point. And I think having this box helps define that little end point a little better. At least being more focused in terms of what I pick up now. I'm trying to just pick up like key pieces by the artists I like, and maybe complete the runs I'm trying to complete. I picked up another Wolverine book. Didn't pick up any Ball and Wonder Woman today, but man, we just fell down another Batman Gotham Knights. And this is these are dollar books, so these are things we could pick up cheap. But man, is that a rabbit hole that we've already fallen down. But that's it. Pretty brief haul video. Thanks, guys. Fanboy Prime, Ralphaus, Lok, thanks for joining, stopping in. A lot of good stuff, a lot of value in this haul. Again, big Jim Lee books, and we got some big books coming. So, stay tuned. The summer's not over yet. The budget's just getting started. We've got about 6 weeks until the Vancouver Comic Con, again, with the exchange rate. And this is a local kind of Vancouver where all the local dealers come. I'm sure everybody's going to be, the table prices are really cheap and reasonable. So I'm sure you're going to have every collector in the area bringing their set of books to sell. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of like good value, a lot of deals that I'm going in there with the mindset like, look, this is what I'm willing to pay for it. If you don't meet me somewhere in the middle, I'm not going to get it from you. So we're going to go in with a very haggling, get books lower than what you want to get them for, and try to do that. And these dealers, they understand, they're sellers, so they understand, negotiating is part of the whole deal, and to get a book value or market value of a book is unrealistic, especially at these kinds of events. So really excited. We picked up a lot of good stuff so far in the summer, and it's just, again, with the online stuff that's coming, it's just continuing. This hall here, I mean, it's just, there's just so much goodness in this hall just right here. I just feel like, yeah, it's been a fun summer, and it's just going to continue. So thanks for stopping in or catching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. I never really mentioned that, but I do feel like a large part of why I'm enjoying comic books more now than I've done in the past is because of this channel. I'm able to kind of chronicle this, look back on what I've been picking up, and just seeing that evolution of me as a collector and what I like and what I collect. And that's evident here, even in this latest video. Like, I'm transitioning from a lot of like my mindset, even from last summer, to what I'm currently into now. And a lot of the stuff I picked up last summer is still valid in terms of my collection. I'm not going to get rid of any of that. But it does change. Like, you as an individual change, your preferences, your tastes, what you're influenced by, and all those little things change. But the core of who I am as a collector is still stuff from my collecting era. It's not high valued books. It's, again, I'm a cover buyer, so I will pick up just great cover art. Now, there's a lot of great cover art from the older ages, and those are things that, if we want to pick them up, and we want to pick them up in a presentable grade, those are books we just have to really get budget, focus the budget to make those kinds of purchases. They're bigger books. This is a great example. Like, I didn't pay a lot for this, but it's normally more than what we normally pay. We paid $24 for this. Great pickup, actually, given its grade. But that's kind of like, it's kind of my mindset. I'm going to kind of stop trying to get stuff out of the dollar bin books, unless it's something like this, right? Unless it's something like this or something like this. We're going to continue to pick those kinds of things up. But yeah, a lot of the older stuff, Silver Age, Bronze Age stuff, I'm not going to try to get Golden Age stuff, because it's just too, it's a big financial lift to go down that route. But I think a lot of the Silver Age stuff is still, it's going to be more than what we normally spend, but it's not like we're not breaking the bank trying to pick up a lot of that Silver Age stuff, especially the Neil Adams stuff. I feel like all the Neil Adams stuff, which is kind of where I'm targeting, I'm going to also focus on like Ross Andrew, focus on Kurt Swan, obviously. Kurt Swan, everything Kurt Swan's pretty much a museum piece, in my opinion. But yeah, like, there's a lot of good, we just picked up a nice little run of Carmine Infantino. I don't normally collect Infantino, but that Silver Age era of Infantino is just classic. It's kind of, yeah, it's its own, like, everything in that run is just like his style and what he brings to that character, and what he adds to the breadth of the Batman stories is pretty significant. So a lot of just positive stuff to focus on now, and it's gonna be fun. So I think I've entered a new phase as a collector. I'm obviously still focused on Jim Lee stuff. That's still a priority, but I'm kind of just branching out now, not trying to finish these runs and stuff, but just kind of it's really more like when I'm out on the hunt, you know, if the art speaks to me and it's an artist we like and it's something we've targeted on our wish list or whatever, that's coming home with me. Um, so right now, the book I'm wanting to pick up is Batman 238. And I'm hesitant to go online and get it. I know I can pick it up online, but I think that's kind of like the book we're going to target in Vancouver or on our little weekly hunts at nearby. Again, I'm not trying to spend a lot. I'm going to try to reserve myself to like $20 to $30 per week until we hit that Vancouver con, and we'll go from there. And I got to stop going online, so I'm going to probably delete eBay and Mercari off my phone for the most part. We've got a little budget cushion until next week, so I'm just hoping I don't buy anything new between now and next Friday, but it should be okay. This will probably satiate me for at least another week. I had a lot of organizing to do with the topplers coming. It's going to be a lot of like rebagging and boarding and kind of where does this go? Where does that go? We don't have the nice bags and boards yet, so we're not going to go into that into too in great at great length. But at some point when we do pick up those bags and boards, it's going to be a lot of shuffling around and moving books into the nicer bags and boards and slabs versus just the regular bags and boards. So all right, that's a lot of information. I'm sort of amped up on the adrenaline from this comic book haul. It was fun, and I gotta go call my wife now. So take care. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.